American CPA. CPA.
JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Jail time? Getting in trouble? Let me tell you how easy it is to not do jail time and how easy it is to not get in trouble. So you probably hear the opposite. You're probably thinking the opposite. Let's turn your thinking when we're talking about PPP and EIDL. Well, what do you mean jail time? I never even thought about this. Or, okay, I'm listening right now because, yeah, I don't want to go to jail. Or, well, I didn't know I can go to jail, so I'm listening. I'm hearing this terminology is why I put it on there. Sorry if it's clickbait to you. I didn't mean it that way, but I'm literally hearing this term in the last couple of weeks. Hearing it on phone calls, bless your hearts. I'm hearing it in emails and in a few of the comments. And I get it's out of an abundance of caution, and everybody says that. You know, I'm in the tax world, and there are a number of individuals that when we're doing their taxes, they say, hey, well, I don't want to go to jail over this, right? So I get it's kind of an overstatement. Well, I don't want to get in trouble. So I've been hearing it my whole career. So here's how you don't get in trouble. Here's how you don't have jail time. You just do it right, right? Your intent is to do it right. And that's half the battle of ensuring you don't get in trouble, ensuring you don't go to jail, okay? How do you go to jail? Well, fraud. You don't have a business, you got the money. You don't have employees, you got the money. You buy a Lamborghini with it versus the other. Yeah, okay. So if you use it for what it's meant for, then you're not going to get in trouble. It's really actually easy. If you think about it, it's super easy. And if you're trying to get creative, then you're actually making it more difficult. So don't worry about trying to get creative because it's actually pretty clear. I mean, PPP, let's start there. It's for payroll, rent, utilities, interest, right? Keep your receipts. Well, you should have them anyways. They're required for taxes. You got to have receipts. You know, canceled checks and here's a receipt for the rent. You know, here's my lease for the payroll. You got payroll reports, right? It's not anything different or new. You should already be keeping those things to be able to get a tax deduction. So nothing new there. And with the 24 weeks, you got plenty of time to have these expenses. And I did a video on it talking about why you shouldn't be worried about it with the 24 week, and you're just providing what you did actually pay and what was incurred during the period. End of story. On the EIDL, a lot of questions on that. Makes sense. You know, it's a new program. A lot of questions about, well, what can I use it for? And it's real simple. Ongoing business expenses. So, well, JJ, what are ongoing business expenses? So if it's already been something you've been spending on, then actually that'd be the simplest response. The simplest definition is expenses I've already been routinely paying, even if it's annual, so like annual dues to a professional organization, right? So if it's something that your business has been paying for, even as self-employed, you've been writing it off and tax deducting it on a prior tax return, you're already doing it this year. So it's almost, if you are now doing something outside of that, then it's probably not an ongoing expense. That, right? That probably makes sense. So then if you find yourself going, well, could I do this? Well, is it ongoing? Have you already been doing it? Well, no. Then how's it an ongoing expense? Ongoing is it was happening and I need it to keep doing what it's doing, or I need to keep spending what I was spending it on. That's ongoing. A lot of videos, got a playlist on the EIDL, same thing with the PPP. So you just follow the rules, as in you just spend it on what it is that you're spending on. And then the same thing with the EIDL. I mean, you should be keeping receipts, you should be keeping payroll reports. You don't have to have, you know, if you got an EIDL for $12,000, it's fine to go, all right, well, since I got the EIDL, here's $25,000 worth of ongoing expenses. You put it in the folder. It doesn't need to be exactly 14 or 12,000, whatever example I just used. It can be more than, right? So you don't even have to like, oh, when did I use up the 14,000? My point is, you don't need to worry about that. If you got ongoing expenses, you're gonna be able to tell from your books or from your general ledger or from your financials or from your bank statement. And like, yeah, I mean, I got 12,000 EIDL for ongoing. I've got it. Here's the reason why you would just want to have a file of ongoing expenses and put in 20, 25,000, 100,000 worth of ongoing expenses, because maybe your ongoing expenses is 25 grand a month, but you only qualified for 12,000 of EIDL. Why not have more in there in the event of, and here's the key, in the event that there is an inquiry, in the event that there is one, someone wants the documentation, they want to review it, right? If you have more than enough, even if you're like, oh, you know what, you bought this, that doesn't really count. So it's not like, oh my gosh, now I'm in trouble because I've got 12,000, I only have receipts for 12,000, and now they just said that I spent, 500 of it incorrectly. So if there's an inquiry and it's like, you know what, I got 12 grand and here's $20,000 worth of ongoing expenses. Remember this, 30 years really to use the EIDL. There's no time frame on the EIDL. Okay, the PPP, we know whatever you don't spend in 24 weeks, you got to pay back if that's your covered period. So in my mind, it's really easy. Here's where it's not easy. You got an EIDL and somehow you don't have any business expenses. Well, then how are you running a business? And maybe you didn't actually qualify to get the EIDL if you don't have any business expenses. So ongoing with receipts, can do on payroll, you're good to go, right? Here's the few items. We know it, lots of videos on it. You have receipts, you have your payroll reports. No worries, no worries. Got a $1,000 contest going on, simple. Okay, I got my second book that came out, Cracking the CPA Code. If you buy this on Amazon, send me an email with your receipt, proof of purchase. You're in the pot. I'm gonna do a drawing, one name on September 11th on my live show on YouTube between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So I just don't want you to miss out on it. In the body of this video, I give some details, a link to the book, a link to my website, provide my email address. And so for $19.97, you have a chance to win $1,000. Got some little contests on all the social media. Just find JJ the CPA. It's a way to just show some appreciation, provide some fun. And yeah, I'm wanting to do maybe a good launch here with my book. So anyways, I really appreciate you tuning in. And for those that are always watching, love you. Hope you're having a great day. Those that are new to the channel, thank you for being a part of it. I go live Monday and Friday to answer your questions live, 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And would love to see you on that. If you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Let's go. Put on the notifications as well. All right, hey, I'd be honored for your subscription. All right, hey, don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. Have a great day. I appreciate you.
JJ, the CPA. You've never met a CPA quite like JJ. America's CPA.